everyone. Schubert and me are welcoming you today in this video, which will be about something very difficult to explain, very difficult to teach, very difficult to show, and very difficult for every piano player. But yet each one of us dreams to have it. The quality of the touch, the quality of the sound, and different shades of the sound, and very little changes of the touch. The beauty of sound is very important for every pianist, and maybe even the most important, maybe even more important than the technique. Or it's better to say, this is the part of the technique. And today I would like to share with you how I am working on this, how I suggest to my students to work on this. The piano sounds the way we touch it. So that's probably the most important thing. If we realize that we have hammers, and if we realize that it will sound exactly the same way that we will touch it. So we receive what we get. I always like to show, if I do like this, then the piano immediately, ouch, it hurts. But if I do like this, right, then the piano says, oh yes, please, I love it, I love it. And that's the first very important thing. We have to feel first before we touch. Everything depends on the piece of music that we are going to play. Now, why I started with the Schubert, this particular Schubert? First of all, because it's my beloved piece of music. It's one of my absolute favorite pieces of music ever written. But secondly, because I consider this piece as one of the hardest when it comes to shading, touch, if you know what I mean, when it comes to using many different ways of touching the piano in the very same way. Because what is very important in this impromptu, also when you hear to other pianists, it's not only the beautiful melody, but it's most of all we have to hide the middle accompaniment, because it's very easy to play it ugly, like right? I mean, this is still nice music, but compare it to so you can judge the recording of this impromptu. You can listen to 10 different pianists recording this, and you can listen. You should listen and hear if when he or she plays the first note, we can hear it all the time. We can hear it until the next one, because this is the singer. So it has to be all the time in the air. That's why it's very, very difficult. So I will tell you in as simple words as possible how I work with the touch. First of all, well, we have to start from the very, very soft touch, as soft as possible. So we try to touch the key in the softest possible way. And then when we can do it, we know our minimum, right? And then the softest we can touch, the softest way, the slower way, the more possibilities we have, so the more space we have to make the melody much louder than the accompaniment. The problem is in this very, very impromptu and in many other pieces is that you have it in one hand, right? So we have to immediately change the touch of the melody. So now, what is very important so that the piano sounds beautifully? If you want to achieve the beautiful sound, never play curved fingers. Use the softest way of the finger, because then when you play it softly, then it sounds softly. Second thing, you have to be completely relaxed here. Only the finger is not relaxed. The fingertip is not relaxed. Thirdly, you control the speed of going down. When you want to achieve a beautiful sound, never go fast, because if you go fast, you always have a very harsh, very sound. So always, as if you are touching a person, or as a person you love, or as if you are touching an animal you love, or as if you are touching a little baby. The imagination is very important. Well, I think if you want to achieve the beautiful sound, you have to work on it like you work with Hanon or on scales, arpeggios. So I did it a lot. And of course, especially if you have a longer piano, this piano is not so long, it's only 1.5 meter long. It's a Kawai, sometimes you are asking, I tell you, it's a Kawai GM10. It's a very beautiful piano, but it's short. But anyway, I still can differentiate the sound, which I will also tell you about how to do it. But first of all, I start from a very soft, the softest way, the softest, and then I gradually add and so on and so on. And a good pianist has at least 30, 40 or 50 grades of this sound. You can practice that, but another thing that you have to practice is listening to yourself, because you have to actually listen to the sound. And now, here, what we have to do here is we have to learn extremely soft and fast playing, which is very, very hard. So it's a very slow movement of the finger down, but in a fast tempo. And if we have this, then we have to control. I mean, we have to bring out the melody. As I repeat myself, but I think it's important. I feel a total relaxation of the elbow and of the whole hand, and only then I can really produce a beautiful sound, because it's impossible to produce a beautiful sound with a piece of wood. So the hand has to be very, very, very relaxed. Then a very important thing, as I told you, feeling and emotions. If I'm in love and I play, for example, I mentioned I play for somebody I love, my touch is different. When I'm missing somebody, my touch is also different. But when I'm angry, my touch is different. Anyway, it's always different. So we should play the piano always with feeling something. If we don't feel anything, and then express this feeling with the touch. That's the beauty of the piano. So, first of all, find the softest touch of on your piano, the piano that you practiced. Find the softest possible touch, and then master this touch so that you can do it many times in all the fingers. Because actually fingers, I mean, as I said to you, of course, soft part of the finger, but the most important thing is the speed. I can use this part of the finger. If the speed is very slow, you're right, I still can have a very soft sound. Now, how to play beautiful sound loud? For that we also need to have here very relaxed and also slow movement, but very heavy movement. Very heavy. If I play fast movement, I have. And this is too harsh. It's not beautiful at all. And for Chopin, of course, for some other composers, it's possible, but not for Chopin. Another thing is connecting the notes. So connecting, so you have to know, if you touch the piano this way, you will have this kind of sound, and then you want to connect the legato to the next, then you have to listen to the sound until it ends. So how to practice this kind of it? We have many pieces like this, but then we play the one note louder, stop, we stop, then we relax, and then we play this completely different touch. Then again, I recommend to practice these problems in a very slow tempo. Relax. 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 Always, so always relax when you play the note. This is very important because sometimes you don't even know that you are tensed. Sometimes you feel it, but sometimes you don't feel it. The best way of relaxing is moving elbows or putting down the hands and feeling how they are heavy and dead, you know, like dead, like you put it up and then boom, it goes dead. So this is, in my opinion, a very important thing. The hand should be light, but sometimes you go deeper, and everyone has to experiment. But I strongly recommend and I invite all of the pianists to work on your sound, to fall in love with your sound. Because if you fall in love with your sound, then everybody else will love your sound as well. This is a hard work, and as hard as practicing scales and Hanon and arpeggios and everything, fast playing. So I hope it was a little helpful. Let me know, and if you have any questions of what would you like me to talk about when it comes to piano playing, feel free to write the comments under this video, and I will do it if I have time. Thank you very much, and happy practicing.